What's up, guys? Been away from the page for a little bit. Just not much happening, too exciting. So no sense boring you guys with details of the same stuff over and over. Not much progress on the race cars. Just jobs around the shop, keeping me busy, and just basically being too lazy to make any videos, I guess. It's Tuesday afternoon, almost end of July. You know, this is the time of year I get a little depressed because car's not together. We haven't been doing any racing or any fun stuff to show you any content, and basically it's just because money's a little tight at the moment, and that's just holding up the show on a few things. But I'm just in the shop this afternoon, finishing up for the day. Just set up another block to do a saddle repair. Last I got you guys off, I was making some saddles. This right now, I got the old manual Bridgeport that we use for so many different things, and I got an old cast Rodec block up here that I'm doing a saddle repair, and this is the method I use for line boring on the rear main. Now the other three or four housings are in good shape, so I don't need to line bore the whole housing. I'm just gonna repair the rear housing and put my insert in. And the way I do this, I use a right angle attachment with a adjustable boring head, just like we've used in a lot of different things. I've used these little boring heads to bore motorcycle and ATV cylinders and cylinder head repairs. This particular motor, the crankshaft is torn up. Now usually we send all our cranks out to Shaft Tech out in the Midwest, because I do not have a crank grinder right now here in our backyard machine shop. Used to have a crank grinder, but when I moved the shop home, we were just tight on space, didn't use it a lot, and I ended up selling it. Wouldn't mind picking up another one down the road, but I got a buddy up in Fayetteville now that's doing our crankshafts. Drawhorn Powertrain Development, Robbie Drawhorn, good engine builder in his own right. He has a machine shop, and he has a real nice crank grinder. We've been sending him the cranks to do. He's a comp eliminator racer and does some nice work himself, so he's doing our crank work. So if you're local, you need a good crank grinder, need cranks ground, hit up Robbie. It's Drawhorn Powertrain Development up in Fayetteville. Anyway, he's fixing the crank for this block, and got it jigged up on the Bridgeport. If you notice, I got the vise moved down to the other end of the table, and anytime I max out the travel, I like to move some weight on the other end just to help the sag, because this is a dovetail weigh machine, a Bridgeport. A Bridgeport's a useful machine, very useful, but not the most rigid machine. So to take some care, I try to balance it out by keeping some weight on the end of the table. It's aluminum block, so it's not super heavy, but you notice I have to max the travel out to set the head up. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna touch off, and I made the saddle insert about 50 thousandths larger on the OD. So I'm gonna get in there and clean up where it's all boogered up there. And obviously my tool isn't adjusted yet, but I'll be boring it with the power feed on the table, boring it away from the block. So I'll be cutting towards the rear main seal cavity. And as you can see, so you know, I can't bore on through because of the diameter of the seal is the factory 2-inch. Is actually 3-inch diameter. So we're cutting this down to 3-inch 250. We'll put our insert in, and then we'll put our cap on that we made. Again, we made another cap to repair the burned up cap. Made a new cap here in-house. So after we get this dimension dialed in, we'll clamp the cap down and then we'll rebore it with the cap. But right now I got to get this sized in. So I'm gonna do that right now. Otherwise, not much else going on besides just our basic automotive machine shop and manufacturing work happening. But I just wanted to check in with you guys. Don't think I left you all together. Again, this is the time of year I get a little depressed because we're hitting the mid-year, mid-season, and we haven't made much progress on our race car in the last few months, just because we got to keep the bills paid and everything else comes first. That's secondary. And it's my brother and I. We don't get help from anyone on the outside. It's just our little shop against the world. So that's what we're doing this afternoon. We got a little boat racing on to break up the monotony in the shop. And other than that, I did get one of the other motors together for my boat over the weekend, Father's Day. I came out here and pounded together that other 468. Maybe we might make it to the water for 4th of July. I don't know. Make a video out there running up and down the waterway. But and that's that saddle that we built. It's still sitting here, and the job's been kind of dragging a little bit because we had to. We were waiting on the crankshaft, and the crank didn't get done. Like I said, we used to send them out to shaft tech, and they were just so darn busy. I needed the crank to get some measurements to do the final fitment. That's what I was waiting on, doing the line bore on that. It's not a road deck. It's a Brad Anderson I'm working on over there. I got a road deck in the back there I have to fix next. We'll do a segment on that. A Rodeck TFX Hemi. That's a Brad Hemi. But anyway, I'm going to get this saddle finally fit in there, and hopefully Robbie gets the crank finished up this week, and we can get this out. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you don't, if you can't do everything in-house, you're at the mercy of other people sometimes, and as much as I don't like utilizing other people, I mean, sometimes there's just no way around it. But I think Robbie's going to help us out from now on. We've worked back and forth before, and he's always did us well. So looking forward to working with him on our crankshafts from now on. But I'm going to get back over here and get this dialed in and get that pre-machined, get that surface fixed up, and get this block done. So I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit.